back to yet another edition of National Headlines on India Roundup. Hope you like this episode too. 5G could be a reality in India by September this year. The government took a decision that allows telecom companies to make changes in technology advancements and upgrades with a notice of only 6 months against the 1 year mandated previously. The modifications have been made part of the amendments to the notice inviting applications for the spectrum auctions slated for March. In case of switching over to a different technology while rolling out networks, information regarding the new technology should be given at least 6 months before any base station is offered for testing, said the amendment. These are able to secure airwaves in March. They can plan to offer 5G in 6 months or around September. However, since the March auction is not selling spectrum in the traditional 5G bands, the 5G capabilities will be limited in terms of maximum internet speed and other performance parameters, said the sources. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has prepared a draft framework for the use of blockchain technology in government services and intends to use it in the areas of property record keeping, digital certificates, power distribution, health records, as well as supply chain management. According to the draft framework, all the applications of blockchain technology are likely to be explored by the government under the leadership of the IT Ministry. The draft, called the National Strategy on Blockchain, is also likely to explore the possibility of use of the technology for vaccine and medical supplies logistics management for future purposes. Virtual and digital currencies such as Bitcoin, however, have been kept out of the ambit of this framework and are unlikely to be included in the near future, senior government officials said. India slipped 2 places to the 53rd position in the 2020 Democracy Index's global ranking, according to the Economist Intelligence Unit, EIU, which said that the democratic backsliding by authorities and crackdowns on civil liberties has led to a further decline in the country's ranking. However, India is ranked higher than most of its neighboring countries. India's overall score fell from 6.9 in 2019 to 6.61 in the index that provides a snapshot of the current state of democracy worldwide for 167 countries. With mounting pressure on India's democratic norms, India's score fell from a peak of 7.92 in 2014 to 6.61 in 2020, and its global ranking slipped from the 27th in 2014 to the 53rd as a result of the democratic backsliding under the current regime, said the EIU. Norway topped the Economist Intelligence Unit's latest Democracy Index report, titled Democracy in Sickness and in Health, with Iceland, Sweden, New Zealand, and Canada making up the top 5.
To celebrate life, come to Gujarat.
The UK variant of the deadly novel coronavirus has mutated again, a report in the BBC News quoted. According to the report, the scientists have observed new genetic changes in the COVID-19 variant, which was already said to be more contagious and possibly more deadly. This mutation has already been seen in the South Africa and Brazil variants of the COVID-19 virus. The experts that BBC spoke to said that while the mutation may affect vaccine effectiveness, the current ones in use should still work. Experts have found a handful of cases of the UK variant with the mutation, the report said. It does not mean that this mutation is present in all versions of this variant. It is common for viruses to mutate. As they create new copies in themselves, viruses mutate to spread and thrive. Several Bollywood celebrities and sportspersons took to the social media urging the country to stand united as the ongoing farmers' agitation against the new agri-laws drew widespread international attention on the social media platforms. The latest to join the India Against Propaganda hashtag on Twitter was the sports star Sachin Tendulkar, who took to the social media platform saying that external forces can observe but cannot participate in an indirect reference to farmers' protests. The hashtag started trending on the platform after Indian celebs tweeted in support of the government's response, slamming international comments on the farmers' protests, which had started in November 2020. Tendulkar, referred to as the god of Indian cricket, urged people to remain united as a nation. The embassy in New Delhi urged the Indian government to resume talks with farmers angry over the agricultural reforms that sparked a months-long protest campaign. Largely restricted to the outskirts of New Delhi, the mostly peaceful protests were marred by violence on January 26th, when some protesters entered the heart of the capital city after the Republic Day military parade and clashed with the police. Television images broadcast internationally of protesters occupying the ramparts of New Delhi's historic Red Fort and later clashing with police raised awareness of the confrontation between Modi's government and the farmers. We encourage that any differences between the parties be resolved through dialogue, a US Embassy spokesperson said in a statement that also proffered general support to the government measures to improve the efficiency of India's markets and attract greater private sector investment. Prime Minister Modi's government has held multiple rounds of talks with representatives of farmers who have camped in their thousands on outskirts of the capital since late 2020, but there has been no word on when talks would resume following the Republic Day violence. The farmers' cause has also drawn support from the Indian diaspora in Australia, Britain, Canada, and the United States. In late November, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau raised India hackles by speaking about the protests in a video message, saying that he was concerned for the farmers. New Delhi said such comments were an acceptable interference in our internal affairs.
India, incredible India.
Thank you for watching today's episode. Do share your feedback in the comments below. Stay safe and see you again next week.